Okay, hold on, let me restart. Here we go. Sorry, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. About to start the show, better take your seats. It's time to let the curtain rise. We're gonna shake the room, we're gonna all night. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Well, I'm Shelby Tucker. My full name is Shelby Jewel Tucker. And I am born and raised here in Memphis. I'm 27 years old. I'll be turning 28 in October. Halloween baby. Graduated from Bartlett High in 2012 and then went to the U of M. And I graduated with a degree in accounting, minor in marketing. And I graduated in 2016. My mother-in-law did accounting in college and I didn't really know exactly what to do. So I went into their business school at the U of M, the Fogelman College, and I decided to just go with accounting because she had mentioned, you know, it's easy to get a job out of there, or it's just a really great foundation to set on. But I knew I wanted to be in business. I started loving fashion in college. I watched The Hills. It wasn't on at the time, but I had gone back like on Amazon and started watching the series The Hills, and I got obsessed with Lauren Conrad. And she had this website, like this lifestyle blogging website. I just like started putting together outfits in my closet and I started loving, like I would go to Forever 21 and buy all this stuff and put together outfits that at this moment in time are atrocious to me, but we evolve. Because I would put my outfits up on Instagram with the insanely terrible filter, like we all did. And I would just get feedback. They'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh my gosh, you know, like I just started loving it. It just started, a spark happened. And so I went to Will and I was like, I want to start a blog, and he already had a camera. He had, you know, he was kind of into photography already. Maybe not necessarily fashion photography, but you know, we started. And then I started at a local boutique here in Memphis. And my best friend was working at it at the time, and I had known that I wanted to see what it would be like to own a shop. I wanted to see what that was like. And I told her in the interview, I was like, I'm initially wanting to see what it's like to own it because I think I want to eventually do this. I wasn't even there a year before I started Shelby Jewel. When you just know, you just know, you know. And at the time that I was putting it together, I was putting an LLC together, I was figuring out how to do inventory, I was figuring out what the finances would be. I was 23 years old. But I started in this bedroom office, like, you know, like it was a bedroom turned office upstairs, and I had one rack of like 15 to 20 styles, but Shelby Jewel evolved from right then and there. So that's how it kind of all got started. So it was crazy that we started this in my home. Like I'm at home, you know, like I sleep downstairs and I have this business running upstairs. So it would be funny that I would get dressed up and Will would be like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to work. You know, like and clunk, 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 clunk. I'm going up the stairs to a bedroom office that I've made. But you know, it was my place of inspiration. It was my place of creativity, and it was my spot. And then I started learning that, like, you know, when people buy stuff and you're able to buy more inventory, and that's just how it slowly grows. So I went from this one bedroom office and I was on my own running it fully. I want to say for a year and a half. And then I had my first intern. Gosh, let me get a different angle. I
Hi, my name's Maggie and I'm from Jackson, Tennessee originally, and I moved to Memphis for college.
I decided I wanted to I needed help, but also all these things that I was learning the hard way, I was like, I really want to be able to put into people what I wish I had. Nobody really like stepped beside me and was like, this is how much, this is what you need, da 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 da. And I get it, you know, there are people who have worked hard to get where they are. But I wanted to invest in people. I didn't want somebody to go in blindly to a dream that they have, or they couldn't do this dream because they didn't know about X, you know, like, I didn't want that. Or I wanted them to at least find what they wanted to do in the industry. So I brought Maggie on, who now is one of my best friends.
Me and Shelby met in August of 2018. Her store had been online, I think, for about a year before I came into the picture. I just applied for her internship that she had.
My dream when I started this was thinking about getting my first pieces of inventory in and steaming them. I don't know why that was always my initial like milestone, but getting those pieces in and wanting to steam my own pieces. Like, so when I got my first piece in and I started steaming, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing this. I'm doing it, you know? But then it gets to a point that you start to get a lot in, and it's hard to keep up with it all when you want to grow it.
In the beginning, I was just an intern. I kind of did whatever she needed me to do, steaming, tagging, doing inventory, while also kind of transitioning into more of a manager type.
But when I was by myself for the first like year and a half, I did pop-ups. There would be times I would have to stay up till 3 a.m. steaming endless amounts of pieces of clothing because I wanted them to be perfect for my customers, steaming them, tagging them. And my tags, they're still the same tags I have today, but I did not do sticker labels. I hand wrote on each of them the name of the style, the size, and the price. And I would have to let them dry because the permanent marker would so I would have like a full desk full of tags and I'd have to steam, and I would stay up till like 3 a.m. before a pop-up just getting all this new inventory ready to go. And it was fun, but it was also a lot. My back would hurt and I would just like get into bed and be like, I'm here, Will, I'm here. I gotta wake up in 3 hours. But then also doing pop-ups, I would have to take all the racks, all the pieces of clothing, all of the equipment that I needed, and take it from upstairs in my house to downstairs, outside, load it into my car, and you have to be strategic about it, okay? You have to be strategic for everything to fit in one trip without anything getting messed up. It just kind of grew from there, and we still did pop-ups, and Maggie and I went to Nashville one time with that car fully loaded. A rug in between us the whole way to Nashville, and we had to unpack it and then pack it back up and then go home, and then you gotta unpack it from the car and take it all upstairs. You're sweating by the end of it, and you're like, I got my workout in. It grew from there. I hired Maggie on that semester after to help me. That's kind of where I felt like I could get a team, because I would have Maggie and then I'd have an intern. And so I was like, okay, I actually have 2 girls working for me now. This is crazy.
I would say the biggest difference is, definitely space. I remember when we were just in this tiny, tiny bedroom and we only had 2 desks in there and a couple of shelving units to fit all of our inventory in.
When Maggie was just there, she was sitting at a console table. That was her desk. It wasn't even a desk. And so when I hired her on, I was like, it's gonna be so fun to give her a desk. So I bought 2 desks and we put them together, and then I bought another desk, or I put the desk that I originally had over where the table was. And so when we got an intern, we all could sit in that room together as an office.
And then we took up another guest bedroom for all of the clothes. And It's been amazing seeing the growth of the business as a whole. We used to brainstorm ideas and just tag team on what direction we wanted the shop to go in. So now I feel like it's bigger and it's better, and I'm just so proud of all of the hard work that she put into it, and I couldn't be happier for her.
Eventually I would get, that intern would leave and I would get more interns, and I'd realize I need a marketing intern, I need a merchandising intern. And at one point I had 3 interns working for me. And obviously also at that point, it went from 1 rack in my office, that grew to like 3 racks in my office, and then 5 racks in my office. And then we were like, this isn't gonna work. So we moved it to the guest bedroom, where we had like 6 racks, and it just the inventory kept growing, because that's what happens when a company grows. And my team kept growing. Eventually, the guest bedroom was not only of no use, but we outgrew it. And the bonus room that we had was very, very large. And I was taking up the whole thing of that with inventory, with racks of inventory. We had developed, organization of all of that, to jewelry, to accessories, to the clothes. With 3 interns and the clothes where it was, I ended up just kind of thinking about hiring somebody on instead of doing interns. I hired on Kaylee to just help take care of inventory, because inventory was growing. I needed somebody to help me pack the orders. I needed somebody to help me do inventory every other week to see what I had and what I didn't have.
My name is Kaylee Schmidt. I am 25 years old. So my position with Shelby Jewel is I'm the operations manager. I started off just doing inventory at her house with her. And so I did all of the inventory, checked it in, did some descriptions online. And then literally 2 weeks later, Shelby came to me and was like, hey, we're gonna open a pop-up shop. I'm like, great, just the 2 of us, so let's go.
And then Saddle Creek happened. There's sometimes where I kind of have to take a breather, because if you think about it, you're teaching somebody new every 3 months your system of your entire company. And it can be so great to teach them, but at some point, when you're trying to scale, you have to step back and get your ducks in a row. And so I get a message from my now landlord, being like, hey, we're doing this new development at Poplar Mendenhall. My wife has shopped with you, and she mentioned that you would be a perfect store to go there. Your experience was amazing. It's just what we're looking for.